So look, this is why you shouldn't. The universe just don't want to deal with particulars when it comes to us. Okay, it's either or, right? In the Bible, you'll say it's Jew or Gentile, right? And the Gentile is truly the Jew, and the Jew is really the Gentile, right? People already know that, Revelations 2 and 9. And then you got the light workers and you got the dark workers. But the truth is, it's good and evil. Though people will tell you that there is no good or bad, which is complete bullshit. It's no different than them telling you that this is just a meat suit. This is not just a meat suit, okay? Because by studying thyself and knowing thyself, you can also travel the stars. This is why you'll hear certain correlations between the meso universe and the macro and micro universe, right? Which all of your cells would be the stars, right? Your heart would be the moon, and your brain would be the sun in all of its brilliance. And us particularly, we will be the galaxies, right? We'll be the universe itself, right? But women retain more water weight than men, so the woman and her brain sits in more neuromelanin than the male species. Okay, but it's either male or female. But though they are separate, these are the one integral parts of what we call the whole. As I like to say, we have to offset this thing, right? Mama Isis, okay, which is to remember, okay? The re is to do it again, to bond, right? Which is dealing with law, legit, right? Legal. And then you have the word member, which is the integral parts of the whole. We must bring those things together because that's what Mama also did with Papa Asar, okay? Unless we have already become who our parents are when we say that we are the ancestors. But to trap things into places that they should not be and keep them in boxes like this on the screen, you cause what I call death, what we call death. And TikTok wants us to use a particular type of rhetoric and verbiage, which is to say being unalive, right? Or unalived, okay? When you look at the clock also remind you, okay, that you are on a particular type of time, so you have to get to business. You have to, right, keep in mind your business, which is mind, the you, and then the our business. And people want to take control of that, which is very, very wrong. And the reason it is wrong is because what they have done with this Jupiter's cube is they have put it everywhere. So those that own their own homes and their mansions or whatever you want to call it, what type of home, right? You ought to keep things in your home cat a corner, okay? It's because we live in a cyclical. Everything is inside the universe, the Yoniverse. And as you heard the term, we are all sitting in what is water. And air is water. So the people that want to argue that air and water are separate, they are not. They are one and the same. Okay? They are the integral elements of the whole, right? El, mind, and then the mint, which is God. Okay, so with this particular understanding, thank you. With this particular understanding, you have to remember that we are all resting in the seventh day. The seven is the number of God. Which God? Which is Papa, which is on the screen right here, right? The masculine version of Mama. She's the feminine version of Papa. And that's because 7 is the midpoint of the number of death, the number of transformation, okay? Which is dealing with the number of ascension, the number of enlightenment, and the double number of what we call wisdom, which is the wise dome. okay, which the word enlightenment comes from the word Buddha. And there's 16 different names of Buddha. All right, you can go study that as well. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because my niece came over yesterday. My other niece graduated, so they had a little party for them, and all of the children were going around here, and they have found their minds. They haven't lost their minds. They found their minds because children live in space. They don't live on time. You can't ask a child what time it is. Not that they don't know how to tell time. They're not paying no mind to it, so they stay young almost forever. Okay, so this box, and it's 111 on the clock, which represents me, which represents mama, papa, and us at the end of the one, because we are all one, right? No matter what color that they want to use, right? Eumelanin down to pheomelanin, you have those two types, right, that are categorized in the earth, which represents the four types of the humans that are here on the earth. And then we'll say mankind because people want to stay on their lower self, which is the sixth level, 33, which is the 42, not recognizing that they are the laws of the Ma and Papa, the At, which is Ma'at. It is the balance as you can see on the wings. You go from here to there, but you are in the middle right here, which is the part of the cross that has beamed down, or the extraterrestrial part that is in the earth. So what my niece did was, when I was living over at her mother's house before I'm living where I am now, I used to see these cats. Now, when I first moved there, I would go outside. There'd be 9, 10 cats just out there, just chilling all over her porch, just sitting, right? But when I never seen this before. But you got all of these cats. So if I go outside and I walk around the block doing push-ups on every corner, squats or whatever on every corner, walking around and talking and speaking in my language that I speak, right, that the ancestors and mama gave me, you know, I will be working out, charging up under the sun, and I would see these two cats. First I seen, right, the one cat, the cats would just move while I'm walking. They'll just step in the street while I'm walking, and they'll just like move out the way. And then I see another particular cat, and the cat would just stare at me. So I would just start speaking to the cat. My niece comes over yesterday, and she tells me that she was like, she was hurt because the cat passed away. And the reason why the cat passed away is because she had put the kitten in a box. Now this is a spirit guide, right? This kitten was a kitten of spirit guides. Remember, I just told you about all of the cats. They were on the porch. You understand? And I would come outside, it's like they were waiting on me. So when I'm listening to the story, and I felt horrible when she told me about it, and I didn't know why. Now this is under the full strawberry moon last night. I'm in deep feelings. I got a lot of things going on I don't understand, right? And I don't really deal with the full moons. But these are the times that the people do a lot of spell work, okay? But watch this about this particular spirit guide that did not want to be sold, because this particular kitten was to stay in the area and do the work that it was supposed to do. So she said when she woke up, the cat was unalive. The cat was not alive anymore. And that's because of the box. And she said she had a mind to sell the kitten. So what the ancestors told me is this was a spirit guide for the neighborhood. I had to put a shield over not only Detroit, okay? I put a huge shield over Detroit, and I put a protection shield over that home, right, when I was there. But now I'm not there, so I tell people when I leave, I'm going to take my glory, especially if you're doing anything wrong to me, right? At that particular point, it's no longer up to me. I just have to love you. I just have to forgive you, but I don't condone the things that you're doing, all right? And I am to reshape those things, educate you on these particular things while I'm there by being the example. Now, the cat was unalive is because she was not supposed to put the cat in the cage, in a box, and try to sell the kitten. So the spirit guide that was in the kitten left because she didn't know why. Ashe? God up, God rise.